President Donald J. Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris faced off in a debate hosted live by ABC News. I know many of you probably tuned in, many of you probably watched. I was at a debate watch party here at Liberty University with over 270 other students, strong conservative students who were fired up, ready to get in, and were rowdy and energetic the entire time. Huge shout out to Turning Point USA at Liberty University and the College Republicans of Liberty University for helping put this together. Now, I don't know about you, but as the debate was going on, I got a little worried. I was just a tad bit worried about the performance that President Trump was giving. He seemed to be a little bit off kilter to me. He did not feel like he was adequately prepared for Kamala Harris to be more prepared than most of us thought that she was going to be. I thought it was going to be a complete blowout. So much so that I forgot the debate was even happening until day of. If I had remembered, I would have given a preview last week on Friday's show. However, I completely forgot about it. So much so that the day of, I was like, oh, wait, there's a debate today. I should probably go watch that. But Kamala Harris gave a performance that was above expectation. It was above what I thought was going to be her level of performance. I thought she was going to absolutely blow it. I thought she was going to bomb. That's not what happened. Instead, we saw her seem, at the very least, like she had prepared answers. It seemed almost as if that she had been tipped off. And there are some whistleblowers that came forward who are alleging that questions from the debate had been given to the Harris campaign in advance. Now, the validity of those allegations, I have not been able to independently verify. I've not looked into that. I can't say whether or not those allegations are correct, whether or not that whistleblower is credible. But if they are, you could tell. You could tell watching the debate that Kamala Harris seemed like she expected what was coming, whereas President Trump seemed to be completely blindsided. It didn't help that the debate moderators seemed to be debating President Trump. Not even, they weren't allowing just Kamala Harris to debate President Trump. They weren't allowing President Trump to just debate Kamala Harris, but they were jumping into the action as well. Many people were saying it seemed like it was a 3-on-1 debate that President Trump was having to go through, and that was certainly the impression that I got. They fact-checked President Trump multiple times and never touched Harris once. They never called her on bringing up Charlottesville, which has been debunked multiple times. They never called her on her various lies about her flip-flops on positions. Now, they asked her a question about it, but when she gave a completely nonsense answer, they didn't call her on it. They didn't say anything. They rammed Donald Trump through the ringer. They asked him about everything. Things that don't even matter anymore. January 6th. They went back to Charlottesville. They asked him all these questions that, in reality, if we're being honest, have no ramifications on the state of the race right now or on the American people. The American people don't care about January 6th anymore. They're not thinking about January 6th when they go to the ballot box. Maybe some crazy delusional libs are, but your average middle-of-the-road working American is not thinking about January 6th when they go to the ballot box. They're thinking about how can I feed my family and how can I keep them safe. Two themes which President Trump did get opportunities to touch on, but ultimately, because of his back and forth with the moderators, wasn't able to fully explore. He had his moments of questionable debating tactics. He should have pivoted, I felt like, on some of the January 6 questions. He did a decent job defending his stance on abortion. even if I disagree with it, against Kamala Harris's barrage, he gave a very interesting viewpoint on what's happening in Springfield, Ohio. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. We all remember that, right? Now, obviously, that is something that, if you look at the evidence, is happening despite ABC's claim to the contrary. However, I don't know if I would have brought that up personally. I don't know if that's something I would have touched on. Maybe I would have went more into how illegal aliens are murdering American citizens, like Lincoln Riley in Georgia, the 19-year-old student, nursing student who got murdered by an illegal alien who had a prior criminal history, who shouldn't have been here, but because of Democratic policies, kept getting released. I would have talked about that. I didn't prep President Trump. Maybe next time he does a debate, he'll give me a call. I doubt it. But Trump had his strong moments. He had some weaker moments. And there were a few times where there was very obvious bait cast by the Harris campaign, such as the issue of his rally sizes. And President Trump, unfortunately, took the bait. It felt to me as if he was trying to do a round two of his 2016 performance against Hillary Clinton. Now, obviously, he did great in 2016. However, this felt like he was trying to get back into 2016 energy, and at some moments, it kind of fell flat. During the debate, I was worried. I was very worried, in fact. However, my worries were quickly cast aside when I realized that a lot of independents were siding with President Trump after the debate. That is not something that I think many of us saw coming. Independents, according to some flash polls that were conducted after, said that they aligned more with President Trump, especially on the economy, than they did on Harris, than they did with Harris. Some independents felt like that Trump did a better job overall. Some independents felt like he had a better sound policy, that they could trust him more. Now, some polls have some independents going more towards Harris than they do Trump, but there are a lot of polls, even by CNN of all people, who saw that coming, that say that independents are actually leaning more with Trump on the issues. They're leaning more with Trump in the post-debate performance. And you can tell that rattled the Harris campaign because now they're calling for a second debate, something that they did not agree to prior. Prior to this, many Americans like myself were under the assumption that this was going to be the only debate we got to see. That's turning out to not be the case. Harris is calling for a second debate. Now, it could be, and it most likely might be, that this will be the only debate. President Trump has said he's claimed victory in the debate and has said that he feels as if a second debate is not necessary. Whether or not we'll actually get one has yet to be seen. What I am looking forward to is seeing J.D. Vance square up against Tim Walz in the upcoming vice presidential debate, which should be happening within a few weeks. Very soon on October 1st. Make sure you tune into that, because that should be a very interesting showing. It should be, in my opinion, a blowout. I think J.D. Vance will wipe the floor with Tim Walz. Tim Walz is not... He was not a good vice presidential pick. I was shocked when the Harris campaign went with him. I thought for sure that they would be going for Josh Shapiro, as did many others. But that's not what we got, and instead we'll see J.D. Vance go up against Tim Walz on October 1st.